The engine is starting up. 3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Good evening, travelers and those alike. You know what time it is. It's time to grab your surfboard and let's do that cosmic surfing wave that we do every week, every Sunday, right here on the R.I.F.T Nation Network. Woo! And I'm playing 3 hours of what in the hell is going on, and I got to catch up. Holy crap, I can't stop talking. Here we go.
Great.
Yes. Wow, it's going to be a long night. I still got 3 hours to go. Good Google and Mowgli.
You and me, we got it.
You and me and you, all together, you and you. Wait a minute. Hold on. What are we doing? Yeah, you know what? You want to say hi to everybody real quick? I'll let you do it. Yeah.
Hello, Keith Ottersberg, Ryan Jones, Z-Sun Dragon, our friend Kevin, Heidi, Joanne Sidner, hello, Kerrilynn Shellhorn in the house, Shayla Record, Kim Sage, That's our crew for right now, but they're steadily coming in, should I say.
Wow. And you know what? You know exactly. You know what? We said hello. We got a lot going on over there. You hear the accent, Trevor Knowledge, because the show is just on. I have to catch it over there from Zealand. New Zealand. I learned how to say it right. New Zealand. And that's
Sounds like you're saying Zoolander.
that's the hit list. But before we do the hit list, we're missing somebody, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh my God. What how do we even think about that one? Oh my goodness golly. Doctor. Maybe he'll come back to life. Maybe. Doctor. Hello. Hello. Uh-oh. I think he's gone to sleep. I've got to reach the doctor because he was supposed to be doing something special. Hello. Let's see if he'll do it. Hello, doctor. No. Hello.
Hey there, Hitman.
Hello.
What's on your mind today?
Would you like to do the introductions to our special co-host tonight, sir?
Absolutely. I'd be honored to help with the introduction tonight. Please give me a moment to gather all the details, and I'll be ready to deliver something fantastic. Who's our special guest tonight?
Oh, remember we have the wonderful Kerrilynn Shellhorn tonight, sir.
Oh, yes. Kerrilynn Shellhorn, of course. Here's a great introduction for her tonight. Travelers, prepare for an incredible journey tonight as we welcome back a truly gifted medium, Kerrilynn Shellhorn. She's a psychic medium with a lifetime of experience communicating with the spirit world. As the host of Spirit Switchboard, Kerrilynn has been guiding listeners through the mysteries of the paranormal, sharing spiritual insights, and helping those seeking a connection with their loved ones beyond the veil. Tonight, we're in for a captivating discussion as she brings her unique perspective and experiences to the table. Please join me in welcoming Kerrilynn Shellhorn. Let me know if you'd like any tweaks.
Indeed, and thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, yes.
Hello, my
Hello. We're gonna put us all there. Look at that. All is good. Family in the house. There we go. Hello, Kerrilynn. How are you?
I'm so happy to be here hanging out with you guys tonight.
Yes, it's
We're happy. We're always happy to have you.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I'm feeling much more grounded and ready for this conversation tonight.
Well, you taught classes earlier, right? So that just kind of gets you a little off kilter anyway.
Yes. And so like time change, and then the Peppers wanted dinner, and I realized I had no dog food in the house. I was like, oh, it was a minute. But we're ready. We're ready for this conversation.
We are good. We are ready to tackle the topic of analogy. Oh, yes.
So I made the mistake of starting my research at like 5 o'clock. I start going down rabbit hole. And I said, you know what? I'm going to speak on what I know, because I do know that we have another one of these shows coming on again in April.
Yes.
So I will be ready, but like I got this so I can write down. I want to check that out and research this. But
Rhonda, on the top of my paper, I have bottomless pit of strangeness.
Oh, there you go, Keith. There's your answer.
that's what we should call the next show: bottomless pit of strangeness.
Let's do it.
Yes, and for those who are listening, yes, in April we will be celebrating our 8 years on the air and celebrating our 385th episode. And Kerrilynn and Kat Ward will be our unique group for the evening as we celebrate our anniversary.
That's exciting.
Yes,
we need applause. Woo!
I think the doctor's a little slow on that one tonight. I don't know. Oh, thanks. Now you do it. Thanks, doctor. Appreciate it. All right. We're doing good. All right. You know what? Before we jump in, now that Carrie's here, it's time for our bang, bang. Let's do the hit list. Let's get this bad boy in. All those present take heed to the hit list of those before ye. Heidi Gold, Michelle Clicker Caps, Jesse Perrott, Chris Fox Roden, Cindy Waghorn, Mary J. Williamson, Pete Gullick Jr., Mort Alley, Michelle Plummer, Shayla Rickard, Don Wheeler, Jenny Nosworth, who I was just on her show. That's why I'm all because I'm 3 hours into this. Judy Atkins, Jonathan Myers, Kev is in the house, Z Swa, Robert Odell, who's in the house, Lois Clark in the house. What? Jonathan Myers, 47 Paranormal in the house as well. My goodness, and so many wonderful people. Giving special thanks. If you saw, the new video is out. You'll see it per show every week, every time, giving our special thanks to those who support us and putting it out. So before the network intro, which the new intro was supposed to come out tonight, but it did not get uploaded. So this will be the last time, hopefully, you will ever hear that other intro again. But you will see that video at the beginning, and if it goes longer than an hour, you'll see that in the middle as well. It's about 2.5 minutes, but it's just basically giving thanks to UPRN, giving thanks to the Things Network, to Sacred Spiral Network, giving thanks to people like Jennifer Rose and Jen Rose, people who really show out there, like Hills Paranormal, giving credit to Rhonda's paranormal group there at FPRI, giving credit to ASPS, All Seeing Paranormal Society in Central Richmond, Virginia, right here. It just really embracing everybody, just like GOS, Ghosts of Staunton. And you know what? Giving back to what gave to me for 4 years, Hargrave Military Academy. So thank you to all of you for all of that.
The question, Kerrilynn, you had to know was coming from Keith Ottersberg.
Right.
Are you wearing pants?
Is the question there if I've got pants on?
It's Sunday,
Yeah.
and everybody knows that carbs are a given. Carbs are a given on Sunday, and pants and bras are optional.
Well, sadly, I have
Really?
pants on.
Let me catch up with some of that now that you've said that. Let's bring it on. So yeah, let me read that out. Oh, wow, I'm gonna pick up the food. Robert says, "Did somebody say rabbit hole?"
Yeah.
Oh, he knows.
It is
what's
a
going
rabbit
down, right?
hole.
Heidi's like, I see it. I know what y'all are doing. And of course, Kev's like, "Hey, Rob." Heidi's, "Hi, Rob." Jonathan says, "Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. Chris is in the house." As we said before, Robert's saying hello to everybody. Heidi is saying, "Loving the energy, Howie." There's too much, and I got another cup of coffee coming.
Here.
Yeah! Okay. Heidi says, "Jennifer is such a light." Yes, I agree. Michelle's like, "Hello, Michelle Clicker Caps is in the house." And one more, you and Richie Kerrilynn. Huh? Okay, explain that one. It's okay. Don't have to. It's great.
Oh,
Hello.
about pants?
I don't know. That's a good question. And Keith's laughing his ass off. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. I guess that's about pants. Yes. I don't know. I don't ask that anymore. I just like, okay, that's y'all's thing. Oh, Ryan drops in and says, "I'm ready for some alien talk and some awesome music." Oh, well, okay. There you go. Well, we got the talk down. We're going to be dropping that to you in just a second. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I think it's time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. Y'all are right.
Of course we are. We're women.
Well, I'm not going to go there. Tonight, we are going to be talking about all things alien. Where did they come from? Where are they coming from? Are they dimensional? Are they celestial? Are they infernal? Are they coming out of you? Are they coming into us? All this and more will be talked about this evening as we celebrate and talk alienology. Welcome to the show. Bow, bow, bow. let's do this. So, okay.
What kind of coffee do you drink?
Right now, I'm about to
brand?
take. I'm about to take part in the Dark Silk Pirate East Coast brand from Skull Island. It's dark, it's rich, and oh my God, it's going to give me another heart attack.
No, not another heart attack.
No heart attacks.
That's a joke. That's
Clear,
a couple
cancel,
minutes.
delete, and thank
That's
you very
right.
much. Clear,
Reverse
cancel,
that.
delete.
Pop it. Play it again. There we go. We're good. Hello, Nikki is in the house. So yes, tonight is about alienology. We had a great idea several months ago, the three of us, and Kat Ward got involved. And in that, it made me think. Now, Kat was just on your show. Now, look, you know what? Kerrilynn, talk it out.
So,
talk about your show. Where can people find you? And let's get that going.
United Public Radio Network, UFO Paranormal Radio Network is home to my show, Spirit Switchboard, Friday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Please come hang out with us. Going to find us anywhere like YouTube, all the places, just everywhere where it's at. So it's
that's right. That's right.
And Kat is also a host on our network, so she has the Paranormal Heart podcast on Tuesdays.
Amazing show. One of the shows.
She's starting to do more live shows too, which is exciting.
Nice.
So proud of her. Just like one of the shows I just came from. That's why everything's still a little. I just came from the LNL Paranormal, in the. Let me. I'm going to say it like she said it. Finland. There. Yeah, I did it. Yes. So she's an amazing individual, Jennifer. Jen. What a great time I had with her. That episode will air just before Easter. So, yeah. We're good. So
it was interesting because you were in the chat when I had Kat on. You always pop in, which I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
How much the Rift Nation Network supports the show. So you popped in, and I don't even remember how that happened. That conversation, it unfolded about aliens and owls, and I knew, and I said it out loud, and then you popped up in the comments. Whoa, here we go.
It shall happen.
Yeah.
This is a show that's been needed. We did get together. Us three did talk about this the time before last you were on. And I was like, we got to do a show. This would be great to do this show.
And I'm in a better place now than I was the first time that I was on, because I was really coming to terms with remembering things and putting I was in that rabbit hole having an existential life crisis when we did that show last time. And I was kind of on edge talking about it because it still has a bit of a stigma to it. Even though there's more disclosure, there's more conversations, there's still a stigma attached to saying you have an alien experience, right? I find that there's still a stigma attached.
Alien experience. That's an interesting term within itself, alien experience, because you always hear the extraterrestrial experience.
Yeah.
But
I recently taught so when I teach connecting with your guides class, I always call it, and I have called it this for many, many years, who's your Bob? Who's your Bob? Who's your guide, right? So the last class that I taught, which was a few weeks ago, it was who's your otherworldly Bob?
Mm-hmm.
And connecting with dimensional beings, and ETs or aliens were part of it. And it's really interesting. Like, people want to talk about aliens as a guide, but if you start to mention that you could have an ET as a guide and helping you as well too, like go into panic mode. But
Yeah.
they're the same. They're dimensional. Could the fairies that you think you're connecting with are possibly be aliens as well too?
That's funny you just brought that up because the research has shown. The research has shown. Are you ready for this, Rhonda?
Yes.
That most interactions with alien or extraterrestrial or with a third, fourth, or fifth encounter, I'm just going to put it out there, that the subject of tonight is usually present, and that being owls. Owls have a prominent part in either abductees or in a UFO or a UAP encounter. So that's really interesting that you said that. That's why I brought that up.
So what I find interesting is if you look up the difference between extraterrestrial and alien, it says extraterrestrial is a creature from another planet, while an alien could also be just a foreigner. Huh? Extraterrestrial tends to refer to not being from Earth. The word alien typically sounds more casual, but has the same meaning. Well, I'm like sitting there going, well, aren't you still a foreigner if you're an alien?
Well, yeah, and that's
you're foreign. We don't understand you. We don't know you. You don't live here. At least we think. Well, I mean, some do, but
off planet being.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
curious.
That's exactly what I was thinking because they still maybe they live on this planet, just not in this country. Therefore, the word alien will pop up, and I'm like, I thought the same thing, Ron.
Which is either even apply because the thought is that some live amongst us. So, are they either?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There you go. Good point, Keith. Keith's trying to. I wonder where that's where I got my implant. Could be.
So that's a whole other conversation too. So
yeah,
I guess it's about 12 years ago. I had a medium ship. I guess I don't know a session with an intuitive from the East Coast, in Canada. The fellow recorded it. He sent it to me, and in that session, he said to me, "Do you realize how many times that you've been taken?" And I went, "I beg your pardon?" And he said, "I'm pretty sure that you have at least 2 implants." I said, 2 implants? What? And then I politely tucked it away somewhere and did my best to ignore that part of the session. And he was very accurate with many things and in what he brought forward, but that was like the first little nugget of things. And then I discovered last summer Messengers by Mike Cleland. And
I got right here.
Then away we went down the rabbit hole, and my conversation with you, and then it just.
I got a newfound friend today, and his name is Mike. You're right. Yeah. Well.
Did you connect with Mike Cleland?
I have not connected with him, but I will be connecting with him.
Fabulous.
Yay.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. I don't really get into this person and that person, but when he was talking, and I've watched 3 of his documentaries, I'm like, this dude's digging what I'm thinking and what I'm saying, and I think Robert would even dig this dude. I'm like, oh yeah, I think we got a newfound friend. We just got to make him a part of us, if you will.
Yeah, well, reading that book and the book, and it's the accounts from other people that are in the book, and he really had his own experience and then opened up the door wanting community. If you've had this experience, let me know. Let's get together. So all of those, there's 2 books, and the other book was UFO of God.
Yes.
That was the other book that was very instrumental in helping me find my footing through.
And he has now
this.
2 movies out too. So
Oh, wow.
you need to check that. He's all over YouTube. He's got some amazing stuff. And
I'm sure it's very validating for him because, again, he was persecuted. His whole family was persecuted.
Exactly. Hey, Sandra. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. I'm not ignoring any of you. Shayla, I know, dropped in and she's here. We're going to answer that, Keith. We're going to answer that in just a second because we're just letting everybody talk. Y'all know how this goes. We're at the coffee table. We're chit-chatting. I will make sure your comments. Rhonda will make sure your comments. I'm not sure if Kerrilynn has control, but if she does, she can make sure you get comments. I don't know how it looks on the other side. Cool. So go for it. But there is a lot to talk about tonight, and this will not be the only night we talk about it. So if we miss anything tonight, get ready. Keep your notes. You can get it when we come back to it. There is something that Keith and Shayla has brought up. Now, Keith said this about the owls. Now, the reason I'm highlighting that is because we're actually going to talk about that topic tonight, a specific topic that has to deal with Navajo. So, Keith, I got you. You're starred. Don't worry. We're coming back to you. But in retrospect, Shayla hits up with a very good question. She says, I don't know much about this subject. Can you please explain implants? Oh, ladies, if you want to take it from one side, then I'll take it from the other side because we're about to go down a very deep fucking rabbit hole. Just saying.
Can we talk bomb on your show?
Huh?
We put out a disclaimer. We can drop
We got the disclaimer. Drop the bomb.
We can drop them.
Fuck it. I can't help it. It's going to drop. I went 2 hours without cussing.
Oh,
no.
Yes. So implants. So is it, I don't really know. To be honest, I have not gone down the whole rabbit hole with implants. I have moved at a pace that's comfortable for me. My understanding is that it can also connect within our energetic space, that we can have those connections within our energetic space, within our physical body. And it's a way of monitoring, changing, communication. That's as much as I know.
Yeah, same. My understanding is just that people who are abducted through, ultrasounds and x-rays and stuff, they've been found within them. And that it doesn't have to be in your physical body at all. It can be in your energetic field, in your aura, in that area. But that's as far as I've taken that as well.
I'm going to try not to be the know-it-all tonight. How much coffee
it's okay if you are.
Yeah, I mean, educate us.
Yeah. Education is in the house. All right. So when it comes to this subject, to implants, now, something I never thought about it because I did not go that far, because every time I get close, I go down another rabbit hole and it leads me away from it. But I love the fact that what you just said, both of you, that you could have this implant on a spiritual energy level outside of the physical body or the physical realm. When it comes to the physical realm and it comes to implants, my jury is still out. And we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. I cannot say that it is from somewhere other than this planet. Just on the, don't worry, Keith, I got you started. Just because of knowing human society as it is now, what us humans will do to each other, through the understanding of many cases, many cases. Robert, if you're still in the house, holler out. What, Frog Brother? He and I have had extensive. Yeah, we're going with that accent. Extensive. Feeling. Okay. Extensive conversations about this just because of how we were raised. A lot of people believe that it is alien intelligence or extraterrestrial intelligence that comes down or comes to you and puts a foreign object with under the skin or in a body part or in a bone. Again, now maybe you're in your energy, because what many people call, thank you, brother, he's in the house. What many people call aura, I call life force. Just of what my training is, being Bushido and working with Tao. So to me, it's life force, which is all the same thing. It's just terminology. Y'all are jumping ahead of me. But let me see. I got to make sure I keep him started up on that one. But there's now a strong possibility that our own government and our own people are doing experiments upon us, doing this to us, using technology, using experimentation. And I'm not saying that it's not aliens or extraterrestrials. I'm saying that there's now a strong possibility it's something other. And it could be all of the above. And we're going to give cases. We're going to talk about it. The hell with it. Let's do it. We're right here right now. What do y'all say? Y'all want to just sit at the table and play the cards now?
Sure.
All right. Let's talk about this. Let me catch up, and I'm going to sit here. I'm going to go back to Keith, and Keith says implants have found two hematelic and or parts of meteorites from the ones that have been removed. Very true. Again, there we go. Robert is dropping in saying, what's up? That's the other frog, brother. All right. Nikki drops in. Implants can be one for tracking, one for biology. The newer ones are designed to be used together. They are implants used for specific medical conditions the ETs are monitoring. I will say I agree, but that's not the full, in my opinion. Remember, this is all opinion-based unless I get a fact, and then I will drop the fact down. I will not discredit anyone. Keith just said it. Could be the government. Exactly right. And we're going to talk about that in just a second when we drop the cards. Nikki says there are also implants that which are used at ETs who work with the human government. Oh, you said work. I got you, girl. I actually said it. I said work. Look at me. Governments who use implants for tracking too. Very true. Wendy's in the house. Hello, Miss Wendy. If we missed anybody, please acknowledge that we missed you. Don't be scared. Hey, what about me? Let us reach out, okay? So hello, Wendy, and welcome back to the show. I know you've been here before, so thank you. Nikki says, blank, blank, bye, blank, blank, work with. There you go. We're working it. Shayla's in the house. Look, I haven't seen you in forever. Do not ever get a chip or implant. It is the mark of the beast, and some people truly believe that too. It's been a while since we've seen Shayla, and thank you. Welcome back to the show. I know some of your family is coming over from Spirit Switchboard, and we're thankful for that. Okay, now laying the cards down. I believe that with the subject of owls, people having this issue with owls during either an abduction or a visit or encounter, or how do they say it? The first encounter? Or is it the sixth? I can't remember the direction right now. Anyway, I think it is a very good possibility that extraterrestrials could be visiting us, and they could be using technology that we are just starting, that we as the regular citizens of this world are just starting to understand, while our governments and our military are already utilizing it and testing us with it, that being vibration and frequency, having that ability to pop and go as they wish on their own citizens. We've seen this in the past. We saw this 120 years ago right here in the state of Virginia at Desjardins Medical Hospital, where they went and kidnapped their own people in Stanton, Virginia to do experiments. What's going to change? Not a thing. Not a thing. The agenda is still the same. So, can our government possibly be doing this to us? Yes. Could they be using that technology that some people that are abductees have said? Yes. Vibration and resolution of frequency and of color. People say they see these aliens come through the ceiling. Could they be aliens, extraterrestrials, or could it be someone dressed as using that technology to get to the individual and then doing that experiment? I'm coming to believe more so that it is our own people experimenting on us, and yes, adding these devices. But why do they need these devices now when all they have to do is blow it in the air and just swallow it or breathe it in? Just saying. Could this been the first step to that, to where we are now in the nanoscience of what we know as super chipping? Now, could it be aliens? Yes, it could be very well aliens, and doing their own biological testing, seeing how we breathe, how do we breed, our medical conditions, how old are we going to live to, what do we learn, how fast do we learn? These all things are taken consideration and do an experiment as well. So we have to look at that possibility that yes, extraterrestrials could be doing testing. Now, so many people now believe and know that the moon is not an orbital planet. How is it possible that those craters are exactly the same at night after night? So yes, Death Star could be. But that's my input before I go too far into I know too much, that I wanted to make sure y'all got talked about, because I can keep talking. So please, ladies, jump in, save my ass.
It's not saving you; it's just contributing, right? We're all just continuing conversation, opening the conversation, right?
Exactly. Dare not be called emperor.
So, do you feel if it is government as well, or all of the above, that they would also follow generations, because there is generational contact with ETs and off-planet beings as well too, right? And so it was an interesting topic when I was having my ahas and reaching out to family going, do you remember this? Who remembered and who didn't? And then who remembered more later afterwards. So I don't know.
I'm starring the comments so we can come back to them, you guys, because I know we're about to get into that conversation. So we're going to get to y'all's statements in just a second. If, in my opinion, could they be watching our timeline, our bloodlines? Yeah, I think it's a very good possibility. Look at a good point of reference. How is it? Yep, I'm going there. Let's just dive down the hole. How is it a possibility that 3 members of the same family get the exact same cancer, and these are the same members who had a paranormal experience together, that encountered a UFO together on Staples Mill Road back in the 60s? And all 3 sisters got the exact same cancer, and that cancer went down to the daughter. It is intriguing. So, could it be following bloodline? Yeah, I think so. Family history? Sure. Look how many charts back in the 1800s to now of bloodlines saying they're haunted. They're active with something through their bloodlines. They didn't all say extraterrestrials, but a good portion of them say they're visited constantly by extraterrestrials. Yeah, valid point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've got to be watching something outside of the extent of how do we procreate? How do we, function? How do we age? Because I mean, they've been watching that for years. So eventually they got to be like, all right, we kind of got this. There's but so much that's like at this point, if all they were watching is like, how do you procreate? How do you, how long do they live? It's kind of like, well, I can see them watching that because it has changed over the years. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, how much would they need to be? It feels like the activity has ramped up more than ramped down, which you would think it would ramp down because not that much changes that quickly as far as that evolution.
Maybe but if conscious awareness is elevating, are we connecting on a more conscious level and telepathic level, because that is what has shifted for me,
Right.
and in feeling more grounded as well too in all of this, is the expectation of what I thought connection would be, that perceived expectation of what an encounter would be now. So when the fear has been removed out of it, in what I thought connection would be, it has shifted.
That makes sense.
And what if the possibility is they know the time or around the time that a mutation will affect our DNA? Maybe they're looking for that. Maybe they're waiting to see the change in our DNA.
So I had an experience telepathically with an off-world being, an ET.
Oh God, my God came to see you. I'm sorry.
Well, I have a son that's in the autism spectrum, right? And when we were having we were in a not good space at that time, and that being showed me DNA structures and other DNA structures overlaid over top of what we know as a DNA structure, and showing me to shift and change and different things from different dimensions for my son to work on in order for him to be balanced and okay here.
Right. Now, and see, that takes away from the negative. The entities came to try to do something good, not trying to harm us, not trying to take something from us, not trying to feed on us. That's I don't think. I think
that's a big part of it, is raising consciousness levels, our connection to all that is, and stewardship of the planet, respecting everything around us, the planet and the resources. And I think that's also why we're having more contact.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I can see that 100% accuracy. That is a very good point of being brought to us, and probably a time change in our timeline, or a shifting of the energy, and they can feel that, because there's a lot of amped up individuals right now. They're really filled with anxiety for almost no reason.
Well, and the Schumann resonance has been off the chart, like a lot, and that will affect people too.
Agreed.
That anxiety and not sleeping well, and that just makes it worse, right? If you don't know how to ground yourself. Sorry?
Society's becoming busier again. You know, they got a lot more worries because of social media and because of television. And look what they're doing in California. I didn't say anything about it. Just saying, look what the possibilities of these things that are happening on. The possibilities are stressing people out. Just do it. Be honest about it. You know, recycle, redo, do what you got to do, but you're stressing people out by faking and not talking about it and keeping it deceitful and manipulative. Yeah. Okay. I need to catch up. Here we go. Y'all ready? Yep. They were talking about starting to slowly integrate themselves. So it is know that they are and have always been here for a couple of years, starting in 2023. How do y'all feel about that one?
I feel like it was probably even sooner than that.
I agree. I think they've been here since the early 1800s as a fixture. They've always been here. They've always come either from internal or from external, but they've always been here, in my belief. From what me and Robert's father told us, there's a lot of stuff that mankind, if they knew, they would be not so stressed out because of the fact of the truth that there is. There's too many life forms outside that are positive. I'll say it like that. And I agree with you guys. Pal, Nikki says ET phase shift using their own super high frequency, and it's why they are seen going through walls and ceilings. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think our government has learned that technology, or given that technology, shared information for other shared things. Yes, I said it. I kind of agree with that. What do y'all think?
About government sharing information about frequencies?
Yeah. Well, as far as what she's saying here, she said ET's face
Oh, yeah.
their own.
Yeah. And for us too, though, if we are taking accountability for our well-being, mind, body, spirit, and our health in all of those ways, we can tap into those frequencies at a different level. And I think now more than ever, we're being encouraged to be responsible. It's our responsibility to be as healthy as possible, mind, body, and spirit. And we tap into those. Everything is frequency. Everything.
Yep. Exactly. Rhonda, I think you're going to look out. I don't think we're going to get deep into the subject tonight. So
No, we've got like
on, girl.
I got a list already, guys.
Oh, we're doing good. Look at her. She's chomping it.
I have a list
like
growing.
Robert drops in and says, oh, he's bringing Kelly into this. Kelly Johnson said before he died, said we've all already used Star Wars and Star Trek technology, and we are already past that stuff. I would agree with that comment. Now, I'm going to tell you why. The military is usually 30 to 50 years ahead of what modern society is, because where does modern society usually get their technology? From the military. We are the hands down redhead stepchild when it comes to the government. And they choose what they think is best for us. They don't allow us to do the choices. Why a lot of people are outside thinking, much like Tesla, and other people who are thinking about what possibilities could lie, because they're not going to do it for us. They think they're choosing the right way, but maybe it's not the right step. Hi. I'm on fire. All right. Keith, moon craters stop getting deeper at a certain point. They should be much deeper in the larger ones. Okay, I'll go with that. I see your point. How many people out there look at your moon on a your scope and see the same thing every night? There's no change. You like that? That was good, right?
I was reading. Keep.
Where you want to go? Where you want to go?
Oh, so I'm not sure. You know what her name is? So Angels Are Life. She was commenting how there's a U.S. government patent on humans moving through walls, and I think that's a post that you had made earlier this week.
That's exactly the technology I quoted earlier. Exactly right. Yeah. It is very true. They have that, and they had that since the 70s.
But do they not also have a patent for certain frequencies as well too, and sound?
Sound and color.
That makes sense.
Yep, since the 70s.
Tell everybody it's all about frequency. Don't worry about what the name of your spirit guide is. Tap into the feel and frequency, because it's all about frequency.
There it is. That came from Project. So just make sure. Well, phew, that was going on.
So I would say most of my mentors, all of them have said 9 chances out of 10, you will not see your spirit guide, and if you do, it may be an outline, but you will more than likely feel and understand their presence, and you will feel that they are there, and you will know that feeling to differentiate them apart.
Yes, because if you eat your turkey dinner for Thanksgiving, if you're a meat eater and eat turkey dinner and you're in a turkey coma on the couch and your family member comes in, you know who that is by their feel, because we brush our kids' hair, we hold our loved ones, we touch them, we're in their space, we know their vibe, we know their frequency. So the more you get used to feeling the frequencies, you know what it is without the label.
There you go. All right, let's do speed catch up. Michelle Plummer, I think they have them in select people to monitor and learn. Okay, I'll go with that. Nikki also says yes, bloodlines and genetics. Oh, now we talk about genetics. We'll talk about genetics. Okay, sorry, y'all. Keith also drops in. My dad's side had a blood curse we had to take care of. Okay, so blood curse. There you go. I never even talk about blood curses, you guys. Nikki also says certain races and species do not understand human emotions. That has been a study. Yes. Yes. Oh, wait. Did I say yes? Exactly right. Because a lot of species, I feel, do not have emotions. They weren't created with emotions. I think we are a very unique species when it comes to that. I agree. And thank you for stating that, Nikki. Extraterrestrials want humans to be much more advanced in
I
our.
believe that.
Yes.
I think they're a little frustrated at where we're at.
Yeah. We're the cockroaches of the universe. You know. Hey, think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
I mean, I almost feel like that's why it's becoming more acceptable that the government and stuff speaks about it, because I think the aliens are like, we got to do something. They're not paying attention.
They don't want us
They don't get
in
it.
the universe and dropping nuclear bombs and missiles at other
Right.
planets. That's all man does is destroy. Sorry. Honesty, best policy. That's all we've done. That's our history. Kill, 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 kill. Why do the aliens or extraterrestrials want us out in space so we can blow stuff up? That's why they're worried about us, because they're worried about our potential.
They may not even be the worried about the potential, but more like what our emotions will do with our potential. I think they're more concerned probably about our emotional side and reaction more so than what we could do.
Yes.
That's a whole different dynamic, right?
So that's what I learned from my son, who's in the autism spectrum, right? Is that he was communicating on a totally different level. And I used to think thoughts. I would think thoughts when we were going somewhere, because I'd be worried about him having a meltdown, or it would be a hard thing. So I would be thinking about things. And then when he became verbal, he was like, why did you used to tell me to not, or to pull grandma's curtains? And I said, dude, I was thinking, please don't let him pull the curtains this time. Please don't let him, because I don't want to have that conversation with my mom again. But he could hear my thoughts because the thoughts were loud. Our kiddos that are in the autism spectrum or our nonverbal people are communicating at a different frequency. And I think they are where it's at.
Yeah. Conscious collective. I truly believe it, because their thoughts are pure energy.
Yeah.
And I think that's how spirits and ghosts and entities know we're coming or communicate, because we're all connected to the conscious collective. You want to call it the matrix if you want to get out in that sci-fi, but the fact is we're all energy, and these things are lipped and lapped and goes in and out, in and out. What we think goes out and it rains back down, bitches.
Before our words. Our thoughts go out before our words.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris hits up is this the one y'all just talked about?
Yeah.
For an enter. Okay, gotcha. Chris Rodenfox, gotcha.
Oh wait, no, go back to that one. I don't think
Gotcha.
we did talk about that one.
No, we didn't.
Okay, good. So a patent for an injectable GPS poison option was turned down in Germany. The inventor was from Saudi Arabia.
Interesting.
Hey. But you know what? I think the United States has advanced that beyond the fact. We already know, and Kerrilynn talked about the patents. We already know there's nanodust. They don't need to inject us anymore. All they need to do is lay it, let us breathe it. We're screwed no matter what. If that's the case and it's for any other intent. Hard to say. We want to think everything's negative, but history.
I don't think it is. I think it's no different than us as a species too. There's some of us that are working on a different level. Some of us aren't. No different there, right? Like, and then we get pushed to use our discernment at the same time too. What frequencies are we working at, and what are we going to bring into our space based on that frequency?
And doesn't that kind of form in with like the yin and yang? You've got to have the dark to have the light. So why wouldn't that be representative in that as well?
Exactly.
There's got to be some that aren't as nice for whatever reason, and ones that are here for all good.
That's why I'm studying Taoism. That's exactly what it explains. There has to be a balance. There has to be give and take. There has to be good with bad. There has to be white with dark and dark with light. And it's very true. That's why I get it so much more than I did before. And it's actually helped me calm down, because I was pretty stressed for a while there. Oh, good. Chaylee, yeah, they
And
don't.
this is calm down.
Well, yeah, hell yeah, this is a great space.
Calm down on coffee. I love
I'm
it.
in space right now, girlfriend. I'm like leveled. I'm like, I might be this way, but I ain't doing this way. I ain't going that way. All right. Rob says, I agree. Remove the cancer generation from the DNA. It is a good possibility. Maybe they're looking at that. Hey, valued point, Rob. Nikki says there are extremely detrimental ETs who do vastly negative things to humans, but there are a lot of more of the positive ETs who are trying to do better for humans and stop the yuck of the negative ones. Thank you.
Agreed.
Exactly. I'm glad we just talked about that. That's exactly what we feel. Nikki also says
Terrestrial.
thank you. Ones have been and in Earth long before humans came along, and I agree there too. That's true.
Yeah.
Nikki says, Howie, there are us government patents on humans moving through walls. Yes, there is. Keith says they now have transparent aluminum now. Theater came from a Star Trek movie to save the whales. Yeah, that could be a conspiracy talk down another rabbit hole altogether, because why are they so worried about how much twinkly stuff you have in your house right now? And I can't say the word, but it's filled with a glitterish form of iteric points of aluminum. It's sparkly? Come on, it's sparkly. What do you have in your house that's sparkly and you can apply it on stuff with glue?
Glitter?
You're not supposed to say it. Don't say it.
Why?
Oh. It's a big no-no right now. They're monitorizing everything, kind of like the C word and everything else. Wow. Unfortunately, it's true. There's something to that factor, which we can go down a rabbit hole later on that one. Yeah. Brother Sean is in the house. What up?
Sean!
What up? Sean is in the house. Thank you, Renee. She popped in there. We'll make sure I got that put in. I was like, okay, I've got to roll. Chaley's like, oh. Peter's in the house. We knocked you earlier there, brother. Peter is in the house. Greetings. Chaley said, I don't really remember what any connections feels like at this point. Touche. That's interesting. I don't really remember that any connection feels like at this point. You two want to tackle that for a second?
I'm not sure how.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I don't know. Is she just
where
saying
it came in the conversation?
Yeah.
Shaylee, can you define that for us so we can probably dive into that statement a little deeper? Nikki says, Howie, that's what the 7-foot tall grays that I call the tall whites have repeatedly told me regarding emotions and human emotions. Yeah, I can believe that one completely. Cindy's in the house. Everybody say hi, Cindy. Come on, everybody say hi, Cindy. What the hell?
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
Cindy says, yes, I agree with Rhonda that what we do affects the universe and and they may need to step in that way. And what's this show about?
So not just do, like our thoughts, words, and actions all have to be in alignment, because you could be saying one thing and your actions and your thoughts in a totally different frequency and not good.
Look at predators. Predators do that. You're exactly right. And just because you may not have the intent, but you may have the temptation. Oh, did I just sell the secret? Yeah, it's true. That's the fact. Sean says, what's up? Tips at it. The Howie does humble and bows to Rhonda. Well,
We love you, Sean.
Acknowledge her. Acknowledge her, Sean. Acknowledge the Kerrilynn. All right.
I've only seen him on your show when you guys were doing the
G3, which is coming back. Yes.
Yeah.
Nikki, yes, they are communicating differently than most others. Totally agree. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Shaylee says, that makes so much sense. If I could hear everyone's thoughts, I would holler, not want to be around people either.
Right? You can hear what they're thinking.
You can like a radio dial, turn it up or down. Tapping
That's
in,
true.
tapping not in.
That's right. That's right. Let me go to Keith real quick and then give us just a second. Keith, they have a self-assembly injectable nano chips. Yeah, they do. And we've surpassed that. And I know this was further down of what we were talking about, but it's exactly right. And we don't even know what the shots from the C word did to you guys. We don't. Not yet. We don't know. Did y'all want to hang out a little longer, or we
Sure.
want to try this? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to
I'm
do.
good if Kerrilynn's good.
Kerrilynn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
good.
feeding off of your energy at this point. So don't you drop it till 10 o'clock tonight.
No, we're good on that one. Trust. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take about a 4-minute break. Okay. For those of you, you get to see the new mid-break video commercial or promotive video. And then when we come back, we'll jump right back into this conversation. If I'm not here, I'll be right back. Yep.
Okay.
So is it Shaylee? Is that how we pronounce that? C-H-A?
Shaylee.
Shaylee?
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing your response to that, so we'll make sure that we come back to it. I don't want you to feel like we're going to leave you hanging.
Okay, let me go back and let me catch her and I'll start it.
Thank you.
Okay, is that you made the comment about?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha, started.
Yep,
That way we don't miss it. And you guys don't think we're going to miss any of it. I'm keeping exactly where we were. We're just going to take a few minutes for us to use the restroom, get some drink.
I could use a potty break.
Yeah. And when we come back, we'll jump right back into where we were. If I'm not here, it just means I'm out there. But the video will play. So just hang with us. Talk among yourselves. Be travelers. And we'll be right back just after this. Ladies and gentlemen, the premiere of... you? All right. Oh, y'all about me, weren't you? Y'all were able to get some talking in while I was gone. I know it's not.
We're just laughing because we heard you.
You heard me? I wasn't. Y'all didn't hear that. All right. Dare I ask what you heard? Okay.
We're not sure.
My pants are on. Thank you very much. So, two things. Did y'all get to see the midpoint?
I watched some of it. It was good.
Yeah, we're moving forward, transitioning into our next stage here in the network. 2. I didn't want to do this anymore. The last couple of months, I've been burning out. I've had a lot of internal issues. I have been bombarded by so many directions that luckily this week I started back with my mentors, if you will. And that's why my juju is back.
Everybody needs a reset, Howie.
Absolutely.
You need to reset and go back to the basics, right?
Absolutely. And that's actually why I'm bringing this up. Sometimes you get stagnant and you feel dragged down and you get lost in the shuffle. The wise man sometimes talks. The wise man is only wise because of he knows the things that are affecting him and those things around him. Now, I call myself wise man, but I'm acknowledging the knowledge. So with that being said, that's why, Kim Sluffy is in the house because I am back. And it does feel really good, you guys. It does feel so much better to be regenerized and not worrying about the things that have been coming at me for last year and going, I need to refocus. I need a reboot. I needed an enema. Yeah.
I'm glad you figured out how to do that for yourself.
That's right. While we are here, Carrie's like, holy shit.
Holy shit, enema.
The enema thing got her.
Later on. But you know what? I think this is part of the spiritual awakening and consciousness, and it's awareness that something is off kilter. And you know that there is spiritual growth when you recognize that there is something off and you apply your tools. And if you are seeing that time period of being stuck in the muck and mire of things getting shorter between the time that you're feeling it and the time you put your tools in place, you're doing great. That's still movement forward, and people need to recognize that.
Yeah, I felt that.
The hardest thing is recognizing when you are out of sorts, because I think we all work to help so many people. It almost takes something drastic to have them go, whoa, I'm not okay. Something's not right. And I need to figure this out.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. When I'm blessed to have the family that I have, I'm blessed to have the cycle and the circle that I have. And sometimes the acknowledgement comes from them and not so many words, but in actions. And the actions are always seen. So with that being said, I saw everything that was starting to take place and I saw good things. I just didn't see the good things here. And that's when I reached out to Han and I reached out to Red and I said, I need an overhaul. And Han's like, where you been? You stupid ass. You should have been here all the time. And Red, being Red, was like, well, let's bring you to the shop and let's hit you with the skull and let's get you back on track. She's like, because you have a lot of work to do. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So, yes. And I agree with you. With both of you and what this is being said now and the conversation we're having, because this show literally could go 3 hours long, easy. But we know it cannot. But you get to return back with us on our anniversary special where we
I'm
have Cat
excited.
Ward with us.
See, we could have a series on what did you call? What is your line on your notebook, Kerrilynn? The first thing you said this was about.
Bottom pit of strangeness.
Oh,
Because it was like one weirdness after another. My sister contributed to the conversation. My brother contributed, and then puzzle pieces fell into place. And it was a little overwhelming at the beginning, but I'm good now. But the strangeness continues. And
Yeah,
paranormal spaghetti.
if we bring it back around to owls and where I feel that they're the messengers of the
Yes.
strangeness.
Exactly. And let's do that real quick. Let's catch up because I know we wanted to catch up with everybody. I don't know
Yep.
how we're going to do this
Yep.
now, but we're going to try it. They have a symbol to inject. Yeah, we got to that, Keith. Ryan says this kind of show will keep up at night. See, he knows it.
into my third page now.
Yeah, this thing can roll, man. Michelle, it gets everywhere. Yes, it does get everywhere.
The
Sorry.
word we're not supposed to say.
Yeah. The no, please no. We don't need any more of that. I've already been contacted last year about it, and I don't want to go there anymore. And yes, I'm not going to say it. Please, you can read it, but please do not read it out loud. Yes. And
You're gonna have to fill me in because I don't understand.
I didn't know it was a
missed
problem.
something.
it is.
I'm gonna write that down too, glitter.
It's becoming an issue. It's used in militaristic effects and weaponry along with human interaction, and that's all I'm allowed to say at this point. So yes. Thank you, Nikki, for putting that out there. Michelle, tell us more about the government involvement. I've seen few theories, and the way they track us could be possible. Well, we can get into that, but I think we want to.
I don't.
Let's not get too far into that right now. We want to get back into the show, but man, what a first hour! Holy shit! All right, Shaylee, I feel alone.
Right. So this was about the comment about feeling connected after years, and it's exhausting.
For years and exhausting. Okay.
Many people, more so since 2020, and is that also by design? If we're talking about military and governments, and is it by design to make people feel separated and isolated and alone? Because that brings you down mentally and vibrationally, and you're not tapping into that collective consciousness and feeling connected to everyone. So is that by design?
Yeah.
And it's not just about the people that we love too. Like it's other people as well. Like connecting. Sitting on my porch and the same dog walkers, every morning, and the old folks that walk by and say hello, like we're connecting, and it's a vibe that we're blending energies with, right?
Exactly. Yes, the comments are out of order. I was speaking of autistic individuals that are telepathic.
Oh yeah, when she said if she heard,
yeah, we're trying to catch everybody before. Exactly. Do not get chipped. Yeah, don't do it. All right. And she says, yes, thank you. Absolutely, Shayla. Go ahead.
From my experience with it, because there's a lot of autism in our family structure, a lot of it. And I feel they are tapped in multidimensionally, because some of the things that have been said and wisdoms that they have are shocking when they share telepathically or verbally.
Agreed. And I like that. She said she's enjoying the conversation. Now, Mr. Jody Parsons is in the house showing some love there. A traveler with us for a very long time and a personal friend right there. He says the music, though.
Music,
yeah.
Meaning he likes it.
Yeah, but he better like it because it worked our ass off for it. All right.
This has been on my desk for a long time.
An owl.
See? It has come full circle. It's coming. Owls. Okay, let me jump into his. If we don't see it, spirit sits us down so we can. I would agree with that. I think sometimes we get a spiritual bitch slap. Keith says owls have been seen as omens. Okay, here we go. You pulled me right back into it. Thank you, Keith. Omens for a long time. Some good, some not so good. I'm catching up real quick, and we're going to come back to that, Keith. Rob says, what has helped me, Joni and Keith, helped me out. Oh, that's cool. I love that. Helped me out with understand a lot this past week and a heads up for upcoming events. Thanks, guys. My family from RNN. Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Kenny, you need to go check out the other shows over in the UPRN too, bro. Hook them up. You got to go check her show out. All right. Michelle says definitely. Shaylee says yes. Oh, everybody's starting to catch up now. Reply to Keith. All right. Come on. I'm almost catching up, you guys. There has been definitely a shift this month. I agree.
Yeah. March has been off the charts.
Yeah. All right. One more. Here we go. They are all straight up geniuses. They just see the world differently than the rest of us. And pea-brained souls they choose not to accept there. I love that for the most part, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed. And Keith says that. Just that. All right. So back into owls and how owls have been connected with extraterrestrials and aliens for thousands of years, going all the way back to pre-Egyptian time. Now, in our modern society, if you will, the Navajo, and I'm going to tell a story because Kerrilynn, I think you've heard this story because Mike told the story, and I think it's a beautiful and it's a very impactful story. There was a teacher that her students were graduating, and she wanted to do something special for her students. So she went out and she bought a whole bunch of owls and covered the room with owls, pictures and the whole nine. And the parents and the children got angry and upset and told her to take it down and take it down now. They didn't want any part of owls. And she was not understanding until one of the parents sat her down and explained that in Navajo, owl means sinister. And it's an evil omen to their culture. Now, this is intriguing because most sightings connected to extraterrestrials and aliens come from Native Americans. I'm not going to use the other word. I don't care about that woke generation crap. It is Native American. They are from here. And majority of their cultures have some symbolism to an owl, just like we do today. There's another story that Mike spoke about, and he was talking about the story of the two naval officers in California that were returning back to the base after their leave. And these are two female officers. And at which time, as they were returning back to their base, whatever road they were on, they were stopped by two owl-like figures that were 6 feet tall.
Hmm.
You both have the same tilt of the head. What the hell was that?
It's our owl look.
Yeah. You just gotta be glad that our heads aren't going in a full 360.
I know, right? Like, oh.
So Cindy Waghorn, that's pretty interesting. Cindy, can I read that comment out?
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
So Cindy Waghorn is sharing, my grandma, who has been gone for years, collected owls of every size and ceramic macrame, anything, an obsession.
An obsession.
So when I had Joe Montaldo, so our owner of UPRN on, which anything alien, he's all over it as well too. And he's the one that told me that you may not, right? Because he said you may not collect owls, but I guarantee it, your mother did. Because of that generational thing. So collecting owls, seeing owls, having owls, that again, running in generational lines. Was there a connection that they don't remember? So did they have, you know, the hypnotic regression therapy where they're seeing something, but to deflect from what actually happened, you know?
Mhm.
Exactly. Now that brings me back up to that focal point of what we were talking about on the first hour. Remember, I was talking about how the government could be potentially responsible for some of this.
For
Now,
some.
yes, if you take that technology, okay, frequency, vibration, residual vibration, and you're actually able to utilize it, what's a hazmat suit look like? What if the suit is set up for an environmental terradrome changing? We don't know what that suit would look like. What if that suit might look like an owl? What if you're drugged and unconscious? Like a lot of these abductees have PTSD evals. That I also found out. And only 30% of them found it to be non-malicious. So what is the possibility that what some of these abductees are seeing are actually men in suits, and they're taking them for experiments and bringing them back, which would cause the timed collapse and them not knowing the time that they have been missing because they were subconsciously under? Possibilities.
Yeah.
That is that's the interesting part, because then we can turn this around in just a second. I want to get to shit. Yeah, go ahead.
Did the alien stuff happen first and then the military kicked in after, right? Or did the ET stuff? And so then the military is like, hey, they're onto something. Let's see what we can do with that too. Like,
what if they used it as a weaponized technology, which we know it would be used for because that's what humans do? Love the sarcasm tonight, Howie. However, truth be told, that was one of the things that the military got from the intelligent life, if you will, and they utilized it, and now they're using that to go into other places and take people for experiments, and everything we've talked about tonight could be done by our own human race. You know, it's that same thing. If you're not going to give it willingly, DNA, Christmas present, then they'll take it forcefully.
mine is still wrapped in my desk, and I keep avoiding the conversation with my mom when she asks me if I spit in the thing yet. I'm like, no, I have not.
DNA, track it in, put it
It
in
is still wrapped
in the
in
ark,
desk.
baby. Maybe the ark did nothing but store DNA. Just saying.
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah. So
I
Shaylee
didn't
says,
open it. She's still upset with me. She actually gave it to me before Christmas too, and then she's asked me. She stopped asking because I was
you're
like,
in trouble.
I was, am, and will be.
Shaylee says yes, they have had a very difficult time with owls. I dated a Navajo for 3 years, and he always hated my tattoo. Thank you for the confirmation of the story, but that story came from Mike Clalad. I have to give that acknowledgement. That's exactly true. Kev says owls like that, flying cats, LOL, the ears and the head from back view. Bravo, because I was about to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yup. Also, okay, now Keith beat me to it. I was going to open that door. Mothman has been said to look like an owl at times. Now, that is not the only story. Okay, there are multiplicity of stories such as the Mothman all over the United States. In Chicago, I wish Nick and Jeremy were here. In Chicago, up north in Delaware, Jersey Devil. There are instances down in San Diego, New Mexico, in where's the other one? Not Texas, Nevada, of an owl-like creature flying over. So this is intriguing. So is this creature an owl-like form, or is it perception, human perception? As we all know, if we can't describe something, we find the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Or is it something else? I mean, and it's interesting how many times that owls are seen, just like Mike talked about, in paranormal cases,
Right.
even if UFO cases. Go
And
ahead.
if we're in constant co-creation, with the universe based on our frequencies and our thoughts, if we are we all collectively creating those? Because we're talking, thinking, and putting it into creation.
Truth.
Right.
Manifest. The manifestation of any projection.
Oh, thanks, Robert.
Yes. Bam. I want to make sure we got put out there. Shaylee says, I have an owl that comes quite often in the morning, and I can hear it singing to me. I was gone for a long time and recently came back. I'm going to tell you all about a story about that real quick in just a second. Kev says, love owls. I think it's all about perspective. Like I just said, I don't feel anything evil from it at all. I do think they are messengers, and at times, but so are crows. Okay.
You know what's interesting? What sent me down the rabbit hole was specifically when I started looking into owls and aliens. And I didn't get down to Navajo, but I just got into the Native American and shaman experience with owls. But then it triggered something in me that has been happening for the last 2 years. I have one dog. My pit bull sleeps with me at night. And if it's not summer and the air conditioning and things aren't going, it's really quiet. And where Howie and I are at, you hear birds all night long.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't get quiet.
Correct.
The only bird, she'll wake up in the middle of the night going off like somebody's trying to break in the house.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me forever to calm her down, make her realize nobody's there. When she finally settles down, and if I lay quiet, I will hear an owl. And then once she hears it, she'll start up again. So it's the owl that's triggering her. So I'm going, okay, is she alerting me because there's a message I need to know? Or is she alerting me and protecting me from something?
Aha!
Welcome down the rabbit hole.
And that's when I went down the rabbit hole.
Welcome down the rabbit hole.
That's when I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is freaking me out a little bit.
That is a good one. Because I'm going to give you some confirmation, because someone that you and I both mutually know, Carlton Clark.
Okay.
I'm going to tell that story in just a second. Speaking of crows, I remember the reader we had at school called it How the Nowadays, and recall on the cover of the crow with red ruby in its beak. Now, there you go. I've got to keep that flowing. Keith drops in here. Every time we started talking about the owls, I get kicked out and have to restart because it's a click back and it takes me different live feeds. Holy crap, dude. Well, that's interesting. Cindy hits up. We don't know. Maybe it's for another planet being born and we have our DNA set up there. Oh, good recall. Intriguing. Again, we go back to the Ark. Okay, Kev, can't find it online nowadays. LOL. Mandela comes to mind. Oh, the Mandela. I got you.
Yeah.
Could Mothman be a known species of extra large owl that is excellent at camouflage? Very good. Yeah, Mandela effect. I got you. I knew what you were talking about.
What Keith just said is interesting because it's like, is Mothman like literally the Bigfoot of owls?
Yes, and I'm going to say this. If you go, which I did, you go research owls, the largest owl is only 2 foot tall. So it's only
still tall.
And there are people who say they have seen 4 foot, 6 foot.
Yes. Exactly. So, Rhonda, good question, good point. You guys are right on target because they do not justify it in your research platforms. That's a good point, and thank you for saying that, Kerrilynn.
I've been trying to find the name of this cryptid. So my sister, when she was on the Spirit Switchboard, we were doing this like, what kind of cryptid would you want to hang out with in your backyard? That was the whole segment of that. And I found one that was about an owl. It looks like an owl, and it doles out, either gives you something good if your intentions are good if you go into their forest, or it gives you punishment if it knows that you are not working with the right intention. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's like 4 feet, 5 feet tall owl, and it's a type of cryptid in folklore, but it's not the Mothman, it's something else.
I'm sorry, but we just had.
But you had to watch.
I have to go to the bathroom real quick. Sorry,
Oh, I saw that come in.
I did too.
And I don't know why it's not playing. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah, I know. And it's saying that, it's saying that there's music playing, but there's no music playing.
It's the owls.
It's the daggone owls. You flipping owls, back off of here.
What's the weirdos?
Anyway. There you go. Goodbye.
I have adopted that, and I tell my guests about that, and they all die laughing. It's the best tip you could have ever given me.
Flush it down the spiritual toilet, baby. Good.
Yes.
All right, let me get caught up real here, and I'll get back to that. He said I got kicked out again, or Rob said I got kicked out. Weird stuff.
Interesting.
Cindy. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Keith. My daughter had a 2-foot owl on her arm, and we had pictures of it. Yes, he just told me about that today as we were talking about the show. My niece, Nicole, is a very unique and special individual. I will say that. And she was coming home, and we'll tell this story. She was driving home one night, and there was a 2-foot owl in the middle of the road that would not get out of her way. So she evidently got out of the vehicle. She actually walked over to this owl and was able to get this owl on her arm, and it perched on her forearm. Then later, some other things took place that were personal. We'll just say there was a death in the family. But just the fact that a 2-foot owl, do you know how heavy that thing must have been?
I can't imagine.
And to have that perched on your arm is actually amazing and beautiful, but it's kind of scary. Shaylee says Kakiyan.
So that's not, I know what you're talking about though. But I don't know. And it wasn't element. I will have to find it. It'll bother me now not knowing what it is. But yeah.
All right, so I'll tell this story real quick. So when I was beginning my spiritual journey, I had started with Carlton Clark, and that's when I moved into working with Deb. I'm not going to say her last name, but working with Hanwoo and working with Jean, who we call Red. And through my progression, I was working side by side with Tanya Martin. And Carlton was over one night, and we were doing the stones, and we were doing spiritual work. And then an owl started, and this is when I was in Lakeside, again, Rhonda, where Rhonda is. And it got, every night was there. You could hear it. And he would look up, and he'd be like, this ain't right. I'm like, what's the matter? He's like, why is that owl here every night? He goes, there's something about this owl. Okay. He kept going. You have to know Carlton. He's a very unique, energied individual. We're sitting there one night, and we didn't do anything, but we started doing cards. And as we're progressing and we're talking, and I'm opening up more things and opening more doors and doing more door You know what I'm talking about. Okay. As I'm doing that, the fucking owl landed on the AC on the back porch. You could hear it go conk, like the claws and everything. And you heard the most terrifying owl screech you have ever heard. And he almost pissed in his pants, and so did I. Not gonna lie, hands in the air. It was the craziest night ever. He never came back over to the house. He always made excuses after the fact, going, "Oh yeah, I got this going on. I got this going on. Hey, Julie," and I'm like, that's interesting. And then I got a message from someone saying, "You have reached this level. It's time for you to progress into your next." And he goes, or she, Red goes, "I heard from Carlton. It's time for you to come back to the shop." And I went, "What the hell is that all about?" But to hear this, to hear that those talons on it wasn't Bigfoot or Big Hoot. Oh, Big Hoot. To hear the talons land on this AC unit, and it was box unit, one of the window units, and then to hear it howl, it had sort of a metallic sound to it. The ironic part to this whole thing, full circle, in the fall, ASPS went out and did an investigation in Hanover. And as we're coming down the pathway of where we were, we heard the exact same owl. I was like, "Damn! Shit's about to hit the fan!" So it's ironic then to now, and here I am starting the next progression. Something to it?
Insight, vision, protection.
Could it be? Could me and Nicole's animal be an owl?
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's a possibility.
Michelle Plummer, thank you very much. That's exactly Chipchuri.
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 And hello, Julia. Thank you made it just in time. Contessa's in the house. We're just at the end of that. And Big Hoot. I've heard Big Hoot before. Kakian, owl like cryptic from Africa, says wiki. Yes, it is. From
Chipchuri is the one that Christy and I were talking about on the podcast.
Your show?
Yeah.
Yes. Folks, I hate to do this to you. I really do. And I would love to stay and talk more. However, we do have another show coming up. And, if anything, I encourage you to tune in. If you don't come to any of our shows again, come to our anniversary show in April. I do believe we have it set for April 27th. Let me verify. Yeah. It is April 27th. Kat Ward and Kerrilynn will be joining us, and we'll continue this amazing conversation and go a little further, and maybe go 2 hours that night if they can handle it.
Let's see what kind of owl interactions happen between now and
then. Let's put it in motion.
I'm down with y'all. Y'all, I am down with y'all.
Record. I mean, down to if you're somewhere and you see like a weird owl painting, like anything that comes up with owls, write it down.
It's going to be a lot. It happens a lot for me.
Yeah. Our audio is not working right now, so that's okay. I was trying to do the claps, but it didn't work, and that's okay. So join us, Kerrilynn. Thank you for spending your time with us tonight on this magnificent series. Oh, I love it.
It's always a pleasure.
And I have so much research to do.
But now we've
direction now. That's what I like better is I have direction, so it'll keep me focused.
Astral, thank you for being here. I wish you would have let us know you were here earlier. Thank you for being here, Michelle. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Michelle Wolfung. Speaking of which, I know that's why she's popping in and doing that. Next week, let me make sure I'm on the right. Yes. Next week is the return of the haunted or active apartment from Michelle Wolfung.
Michelle Wolfung will be on. Yay!
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on the 23rd, we have tentatively one scheduled, but if that gentleman cannot make it, we have another amazing woman that will be joining us. So we have a backup in case the 23rd falls through. And then on the 30th, ladies and gentlemen, we go and visit the Montauk experiment with Chris material. So first time I get to speak with anybody with the Montauk experiment and get to hear insights. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. Other than that, April's coming, and it's giving a little props to the Things Network as we have Nick Mule, Jeremy York, and Robert White joining us each Sunday until our anniversary on the 27th. So
Exciting.
let's keep it going.
Woohoo.
What? Everybody, thank you so much.
Yeah, and if you haven't had enough of us, Howie and I are going over with Ryan C. Jones over to YouTube.
Yep.
To the freaking awesome paranormal show. And we're going to be listening to road trip songs from 1980 to 85.
That's right.
Fun.
That's right. So on that, we're going to end this with our promo video because the ending video has not been installed yet. So one more time. Thank you, travelers and those like, for being a part of the show with us. Kerrilynn, thank you so much. Rhonda, thank you so much. Appreciate everybody's input, and thank you for being here, and may virtue be yours.
Love you guys. Have a good night.